There was some big games. Let's start with the Ravens and Colts. So the Ravens beat the Colts 31-25. They had to score 22 unanswered points. They were down big, like down big in this game. And week after week, in fact, this entire season, I think Lamar Jackson is starting to dispel a lot of narratives about him. Now, I will say that some of those narratives were true. Don't get me wrong. Some of those narratives were true, but he started, you know what it is? One of the biggest narratives was Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. He's only a running quarterback. He can't really throw the ball. And because he doesn't throw it like a Brett Favre, because he doesn't throw it like a Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, people think he can't throw the ball. Even though there has been evidence to show that he can throw the ball in quite well. The problem with Lamar has been his consistency in throwing the ball. He has not been that consistent as far as his ability to accurately throw the ball. Yet, as we're seeing on Monday night, Lamar Jackson, I think, threw for 442 yards, which one is a franchise record, or Baltimore franchise record. Two is the most he's ever thrown in his career, so it's career high. Three, he threw 442 yards with an 86% completion percentage, I believe, which is an NFL record. And I think out of all his throws, only one was outside the pocket. The beauty about Lamar and the beauty about the league is when you look at some of the great quarterbacks, they all look different. And that's okay. Again, it goes back to what I said maybe a couple shows ago. People like comps. People like to compare one thing to another. It makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel familiar with that person or that whatever they're comparing it to. So when people say, I compare this to this, it makes them feel good because it's familiar to them. You can't compare anything to Lamar Jackson. And because of that, people like to, Lamar Jackson's terrible. Lamar Jackson's this. Lamar Jackson's that. Lamar Jackson can't do this. Lamar Jackson can't do that. Yet and still, if you look at the evidence, Lamar Jackson, like I said before, continues to improve year after year after year. No, he's not going to come in and win immediately like Patrick Mahomes. Or he's not going to have a long, prosperous career like Tom Brady. Winning 7 championships, maybe 8 this year. But does that mean that Lamar Jackson in his own right can't be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever? Of course he can. When it's all said and done. Not right now. When it's all said and done. You know what's funny? And you know what I was just thinking of? You know what I was thinking about? Lamar Jackson I'm starting to think that, at least this year, the Ravens are way too reliant on Lamar. But they have to be. Because I'm like, damn, Lamar Jackson, I think last week he threw for over 300. This year he threw for over 400. Yo, and they're like just squeaking by these games. Yo, they're way too reliant on Lamar. And then I remembered Lamar Jackson is covering up the fact that, I totally forgot this team is decimated with injury from the offensive line, which another offensive lineman got hurt on Monday. But the offensive line is just in shambles. The running back core is in shambles. They had to bring in Devontae Adams, Murray, and Tayshawn Williams, I think, who, by the way, has not been good. I know he's been injured like the last game or two, but nah. And don't get me started with the defense. Their defense on Monday has been horrible. However, their second best offender, I guess, or one of the best defenders, definitely their second best cornerback in Marcus Peters is out. In fact, there's multiple bodies on their defense that's out. And I completely forgot about that. Look, man, Lamar Jackson is he's different. And you know what's even crazier? Carson Wentz didn't play bad either. Carson Wentz threw for over 400 yards as well. He was shredding the Ravens defense. It's just Lamar Jackson came bigger. That game was the Ravens could very well be 5-0. If it wasn't for the stumble against the Raiders, they could be 5-0. And I think the narrative not only for the Ravens but for Lamar Jackson would change. Again, people say it's so hard to win 2 MVPs because people get familiar of greatness. Which is why when it happens, you have to it's incredible. Like Steph Curry winning 2. Steph Curry could be a 4-time MVP. He could have won that. But people get familiar with greatness. Giannis. I don't think Giannis is gonna win another not championship. I don't think he's gonna win another MVP because people are familiar. Hell, you think LeBron James? I think he has 4. You think LeBron James is only good enough for 4 championships? I mean, 4 MVPs. LeBron James. People just get familiar with it. People. Again, people don't like to discuss. People don't like to give credit where credit's due with something that they're not used to. They're not used to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not Cheerios. You know what I mean? I'm not used to this. He has an unorthodox throw, the little side jump. His running ability is second to none. He's a better runner than Michael Vick, better runner than Cam Newton. He's probably the most elusive quarterback we've ever seen. And what's scary is his arm talent is starting to catch up with his elusiveness. And once that happens, boy, oh boy. And again, shouts out to Carson Wentz. Shouts out to the Colts. They played really well. I usually come here and bag Carson Wentz. This defense was incredible. DeForest Buckner was incredible. Darius Leonard was incredible. This defense was good. I mean, look, let's not get and another reason, and I keep jumping back and forth, but another reason why I was so in awe with what Lamar Jackson did on Monday night was because of how bad he played in the first half, bro. He fumbled at the 1-yard line, and they damn near, if it wasn't called back, they would have took it to the house, or at least taken it to the other 1-yard line. He played horrible, bro. They were down, I think 22 to 3. That's how bad they were. It was bad. It was looking bleak. And any other quarterback was like, hey, this just ain't our night. And this is what it is. This just ain't our night. They get down to the, I think, 3-yard line and have to settle for a field goal. It just ain't our night. That's any other quarterback would have just, it is what it is. But the second half, Lamar shredded them, dude, bro. And again, Carson Wentz played well. Frank Reich their defense played incredible. Jonathan Taylor played great. Hines played great. Everyone played great on the Colts. It's just, and it's not like, their defense folded. No, Lamar Jackson was just that good. There was nothing you can do. He was killing them with Mark Andrews. He was killing them with Hollywood Brown. He was running in the pot. I think he only had one bad throw the whole night, and that throw would have been another touchdown to Hollywood Brown. I just think he threw it too short. Shouts out to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson for beating the Colts 31-25.